Hello, and welcome back to Oolykee Gaming, and welcome back to another Mod Monday. We have 6 of them in this case. We're gonna go and see 2 different types of power plants, a couple of small kindergarten schools, one kindergarten, one school. We're gonna have electrical component construction and a huge, enormous university. Stay tuned. Right, let's get started. So, run of the river, hydroelectricity. That was made by Benko 54. Run of the river, ROR, hydroelectricity is a type of hydroelectric generation plant whereby little or no water storage is provided. Run of the river plants may have no water storage at all, or a limited amount of storage, in which case the storage reservoir is referred to as a pondage. A plant without pondage is subject to a seasonal river flows, thus the plant will operate as intermittent energy source. Conveniently, hydro uses reservoirs which regulate the water for flood control, dispatchable electrical power, and the provision of fresh water for agriculture. This power plant produces 160 megawatts per day, needs 20 workers, needs only water access. It's based on the run-of-the-river hydroelectric plant is in Zurich, and there's a link to German Wikipedia. And this is the plant, yes, so it produces a little bit of electricity. I'm exporting 2.6 megawatt. I'm exporting everything just to have it at peak times, and looks like this. Employs 20 people, and it's perfect if you have if you want green energy and you have a body of water next to it. Personally, I wouldn't be making it on the lakes, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna work on lakes as well. So yeah, it's really cool. It takes a lot of space on riverside. Half of it is on the ground, half of it is on the in the water. So you can find it in the power plant section in your mods, and this is how you can place it. You can place it here. Be aware that if you have a shallow water, it's gonna be really hard for you to place it. So be careful that you place it where we have a deeper levels of water, so it's so you can fit perfectly. Right, that's the first thing we have. It only has a couple of big connections. It has 2 high voltage connections and 2 medium voltage connections. As it's a small power plant, it's really good for maybe earning a little bit money on the side for exporting electricity, or for small industry or small town. Okay, let's move on. Next up, we have a small school. It's a red schoolhouse. It's a really small school. It's something that I want to experiment more with, so having small villages, and this is an experiment how it looks like and how it operates. I'm gonna read just a sentence that Novu, creator of this mod, wrote in the description. A village school house with 4 workers and 3 teachers. So you have 4 workers, you have 3 teachers. The capacity would be around 36 students at maximum capacity. Currently it's not running at maximum capacity. I probably can get some people to work in here, but let's try like this. Or I can just order these guys to go to work to school, so we can have it, we can see it at the maximum capacity. This is definitely not something that you should have in the big cities. It's only for small villages. There we go. Probably gonna have, when the 3rd professor comes, we're gonna have around 36 people in this school. Right, you can find the mod in the description of this video, and you can find it in the mod section under schools. It's pretty straightforward, nothing strange there. Costs only 730 rubles to build at the place where we are building it now. Of course, it all depends on where you place it on the map. Right, that's it. I like this one. Let's move on. Right, next, kindergarten. It's multi-level kindergarten. It's quite small, but it can house a whole bunch of kids. 450 plus kids. I think it's. I'm gonna read description. So kindergarten based on TS-66 from the Deutsche Demokratische Republik (DDR), extended by 2 floors. Since the 50s, the architect Helmut Trautzelt worked on typing on the typing of kindergarten buildings. Type 66 was constructed as a combined facility. It becomes the most built type of kindergarten. There's a link to the in the description of this video. You have a link to the mod, and then there you have a link to more information. This can have 30 workers and 467 babies or kids can attend the kindergarten. So this is something I'm going to be using a lot because it doesn't take a lot of space. If you go to mods, if you go to kindergarten section, which is over here, it's going to be the latest one, costs only 6,000 to build and takes practically no space. It's compared to, let's say, aquarium, it's half the size, less than half the size. It's smaller or more or less the same size as this shopping center that we have. So this is quite convenient. It has a huge capacity. Cheating? I don't think so. I think it's perfectly communisty, and I think it was designed as and works as intended. It looks perfect. Other than that, it requires 268 days to finish, and it doesn't really take a lot of materials. It looks really nice. It's really useful. Okay, let's move on. So, what's this huge building are here, you ask? Well, that is Pulsar. That is NPP Pulsar. This is a Soviet building. Let me read what it says in the description. It's made by Legend Gamer. Description of this goes like this. Research and Production Enterprise Pulsar is a research and production center specialized in production of microwave electronics products based on silicon, germanium, and wide-gap semiconductor materials. NPP Pulsar was founded in 1953 by the decree of the Council of Ministers of the USSR as the first USSR branch research institute of the electronic industry for the development of electronics in the country. Initially, the goals of the research institute were development of industrial type of semiconductor devices, pursuing the unified technical policy of creating scientific and technical base for development and implementation of semiconductor devices, primarily transistors in production. Until 1990s, the company was engaged in the manufacture of semiconductor diodes and transistors. It was the laboratory of microwave diodes of the Research Institute Pulsar under the leadership of V.M. Valperlov. That the first avalanche transit diode in the USSR and in the world was developed. The game is a factory. In the game, it's a factory. 870 workers and 325 engineers produces electrical parts from chemicals, coal, and plastics. Yes, you heard it right. We're gonna do a quick view of this building. You can see how beautiful buildings look at night. Okay, these are a little bit on the bright side, but these look really nice. We're gonna focus on Pulsar now. It has 870 workers at maximum capacity, and unfortunately, I believe our exports are full here, so yes, let's remove all storage, and here we go. People at the moment, because we don't have educated people, so you're gonna have to do it gradually. Only 15% production or so. Right, so that's the building. It can be found in the mods, in the factory settings. Since it's the last mod I installed, it would be here. It's quite expensive. If you want to buy it, it's gonna cost you 325,000 rubles on this position on the map, which is close to NATO border, but it's close to the Soviet border. Anyway, this is the price if you want to build it yourself. 160 tons of steel, 1,721 days to build. Right, this is something if you want to do mass production of electrical components for exports. I think this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a lot of workers, and it definitely is gonna pay off. You're gonna be exporting whole crap load of electrical components. Maximum production is 52 tons a day. 52 tons of electrical components a day. That's something that we definitely gonna test on our Let's Plays. Anyway, let's move on. Here's a cutie, solar panel station. Right, let's read a sentence or two. It's in Russian, and also, which I'm gonna skip this time. It's created by Witcher Shade. Solar power plant requires a lot of electronics to build, needs 5 workers to function, generates 2.44 megawatts of electricity, update version 1.1, increased number of workers from 2 to 5, added pedestrian connections, added additional power line connections, update 1.2, version 1.2, full retexture, fixed model. Right, This is a power plant, works at night as well. I have no idea how they managed to do that. I'm gonna say that this is power collectors or capacitors or batteries, something like that. It's a power plant. It's a small one, it's ecological, it's similar to the other power plant we have, and of course it takes a lot of space if you want to place it. A lot, it's relative. Compared to how much power it gives, it's definitely a lot of space. So what it does, creates power. 5 workers, and this is how much we're consuming right now. I connected it only to this city and our industries, and it looks really, really nice. Okay, so what about it? It can be located here in the, let's find the power plant. Here we go. Power plant would be solar panel station, and it costs 5,000 work days to finish. 29 tons of electrical components. It definitely goes well with this huge electrical component factory that we have just across the street, and definitely can power it as well. It requires just under 5,000 work days, 151 tons of steel. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. It costs 161,000 rubles to build at this position where we are on the map. So yeah, that's something definitely if you want to go for green energy, if you want to go for tree hugging energy, this is definitely what you should do. And I'm thinking of doing the same. We'll see how our Let's Plays go, and we'll see how we're gonna be using this mod. Definitely beautiful mod, definitely top 6 for this week, and I'm definitely gonna be using this one. And cream of the crop, JenTower or JenTower 1972 DDR Tech-University. JenTower, I think it's JenTower, built 1970 to 1972. The tower was used as a university. In the game, it's working as a tech university. Also, this mod was produced by Ham, the modder named Ham, and the architect of the tower was Hermann Hesselmann, one of the most famous architects of the former German Democratic Republic. The idea of monolithic tower as an urban crown was developed by Bruno Taut, who was the city architect in Magdeburg in 1920s. Construction began in 1969 in residential and business quarters spared by the Second World War. The foundation stone was laid in April 30th, 1970. Construction took place in the sliding scarf building method, and completed on October the 2nd, 1972. At the original height of 127 meters, the circular tower was reinforced concrete construction with 2 basements. 3.20 meter thick mat foundation and a diameter of 33 meters. In 1968 to 1969, there were also state plans to build a recreational center for VEB sites workers next to the tower. This additional building would have been displaced the historical Collegium Jena cloister. These plans were scrapped due to the protests of local, in particular those of microbiologist Hans Knell, and due to the poor financial shape of VEB Zeiss at the time. Even the tower itself proved too expensive for VEB Zeiss to maintain, and it was moved into the property of the University of Jena after it was completed, despite the university's protests probably. In the 1999, the building was sold to the investor, who completed modernization in 2001. At this time, 2 additional floors and a UMTS antenna were added, and the 28th and 29th floors were converted into the restaurant. Including the antenna, the tower reached 149 meters. The building is the tallest in East Germany and the 21st tallest in Germany. Workers 125, professors 150. Have fun. Wow, that was exhausting description. And yes, this is one of those expensive things, and also this is one of the things that I'm definitely gonna have. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm all about the education. I really appreciate good education and educational system in our cities, and this is the biggest university out there. It's absolutely huge. It has, let's see here, it has low temperature, obviously. It can be found in the university section of the mod section, and it costs 611,000 rubles to build. It's absolutely expensive. That's why I'm gonna be building it. And if you want to build it yourself, 15,000 work days. 865 tons of steel is required to finish this building. This is absolute beauty of a mod. It's a beauty of a building, and it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to be using as soon as possible in building mega cities and mega capitals, like we used to do with Leszce, and probably we're going to do with Hermanice in the series we have now. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There we go. Those are the 6 mods we have, and hopefully you guys like it. I definitely do. This is the 6 I chose from last 7 days. There's more mods, there's much more mods, but unfortunately we don't have enough time to review them all. This is just the ones that I picked. Hopefully you guys like them as well. So let's recap which ones we have. We have a small school, small kindergarten. We have a big electronics factory production. We have a huge university and 2 power plants. Solar power plant, you can see here, and of course our hydro power plant that kinda just sucks a little bit of water and creates power. It's nothing huge, it's just right. Okay, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the view at nights as well. And yeah, like, subscribe, notification bell, ring it, leave a comment in the comment section. Which one is your favorite? I'm going for the university. It's going to definitely be crown in one of our projects that we're going to be building. But I would like to know what's your favorite here. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye bye. And just one last view of the city at night. It's absolutely stunning. The building looks really beautiful. All of them do. There we go. See you in the next one. Bye bye.